Hi, this is Terry. I'm the founder of Shine.Online, your ultimate health and wellness directory, where we promote health and wellness practitioners from around the world. Today we have one such amazing health practitioner with us that I'm really excited for you to meet. David Zeng is a transformational coach and visionary dedicated to helping individuals align with the principles of energy, space, and vibration to achieve harmony and fulfillment. With an understanding of quantum physics and its connection to human energy, David empowers clients to transform into glowing beings, radiating positivity, connection, and purpose. Drawing from a journey of personal enlightenment and a profound realization of universal principles, David envisions a glowing universe where interconnected communities thrive on elevated energy and shared harmony. Through coaching, mindfulness practices, and actionable tools, David inspires individuals to create ripples of positive change that transcend personal boundaries, contributing to a brighter, glowing world. Wow. With that said, welcome, David.
Thank you, Terry. Thank you for having me here.
It's such a pleasure. Now, you seem to offer so much to help people contribute to a transformational experience. Can you tell me a little bit about how you got into this field?
Well, if I look far back, I really was born in a very poor family, and it's lucky to kind of get a piece of advice from my math teacher and be able to kind of go through the academic path to get out of the village to college, and from college to a big city, and I feel like it's pretty successful in many sense. However, I was the same. I also struggle and have at the peak I feel back pain, and later I realized, wow, that's a stress. It's not physical therapy to be able to fix that. So, I mean, later kind of basically just like take a step back, and I sort of have some kind of profound realization, kind of everything fundamentally is just energy, and including the trees and anything, our human body, and it's just all these things that we could kind of like see and touch, they are just a stable structure, stable energy structure, and they are perfect. So that's a beauty of it. So with that said, I would say our life and everything's around us meant to be perfect, but the problem is a lot of time that we did not realize that, and we did not really give it the space for the energy just to vibrate, and that end up being like the clash, conflicts, and at bigger scale, and we see the wars happening right now. And if we think of each of us kind of from the birth, and seconds later we got washed up and kind of got put on clothes, and taking that kind of analogy, as we're growing up, our parents, our society, and government, and everything's around us putting more layer and layer of the clothes on us. Those came in different form, like a traditional value and expectation, culture, and education, all those things. And if you think about it, how many layers that we are kind of got packed inside, and how much that our energy actually got cornered into that tiny space. And if you know what is a firecracker, there are so many layers of paper wrapped around that teeny things, and when it got lit up, it could kind of really fire up and powerful there. And because it's nothing more than just letting your energy out. So So not only kind of to ourselves, and I think that in terms of disease and other kind of health problem that we have, and it's like your earlier I said I have that kind of back pain, right? That's nothing more than some energy really got stuck there and was not able to get out.
So how did you figure out how to release that energy and that back pain?
So that's really about kind of letting go, and of course there are lots of like a self-reflection, meditation, like a writing journal and things like that. All those are kind of a different channel to lay out. And actually, if you have a trusted friends or trusted coach, and you could work with, and you could tell them everything that you experience, and at the end of those conversations, that you will feel a whole lot better. And I believe everyone had that kind of experience. And that's one way to let go of those kind of energy. And if you really understand the energy and space and vibration, you could talk to a tree or talk to anything and letting those things go. So the key is kind of almost like you are connecting yourself back to the universe, and let those energy be able to turn over and kind of flow back there, so that we'll be balanced again. So
Nice. It seems like what you've tapped into is when we're feeling stuck or unhappy or experiencing physical issues in our life, that it's a reflection of stuck energy within us. And like the firecracker example you were giving, it just needs to explode, and that's when you get disease or chaos in your life. And it's about releasing that energy before it explodes. Is that right?
yeah, I think I would say that the key is really about kind of letting those things go. And I would say kind of with my mom, and she really got some kind of trauma like from the past, and she's holding lots of she has like a bipolar. People treat her is like okay, here's the medicine to suppress those kind of things.
Yeah.
And in a way, I guess that's also work, because it changes your like the chemical environment in your body. But on the other hand, to me, that's not the fundamental fix.
Yeah, you're not addressing the cause. So whether someone is bipolar, depressed, or anxious, just giving medication is going to be just a band-aid. You're not looking at the source of it and what's causing that.
Well, actually, to me, is my view on that is that it's actually suppressing the symptom, and it create an illusion that, oh, she's doing pretty well right now, but all those appearance is like just like probably like a bonsai tree, and you trim it and make it looks beautiful. But I mean, if you talk to a bonsai tree, I don't think that bonsai tree would feel kind of happy at all. So to her, I actually did some kind of session with her and say, well, Mom, let's go over and what's stuck inside of you, and go over those kind of memory. And we went through those and paid a visit to them, experienced them again, and kind of paid the last visit and then packed them up. And I told her to throw them into a river, let it like a flow away. Right now, it's just a much better shape. Lots of time to me is that she's mostly in the peaceful state.
Oh, wow. That's nice. That's hard to do when you've experienced trauma in your life. It's hard to, on your own, let something go. It seems like you want to let it go, but it kind of sneaks up on you and is hiding behind the surface and always wanting to, it can sabotage you, this trauma that you've had. So how do you help people let it go? What kinds of techniques do you use?
First of all, we need to accept those kind of trauma, those kind of emotions, because they were real. And meanwhile, kind of for people to do it on their own is very, very difficult. It's like it's almost like you are in the energy river. You are probably swimming very hard and you try to get to the riverbank, but it's so hard for you to get there. But you know what? If say somebody could help you to see that, man, you are struggling in the river, and here is the riverbank. Let's get up to the riverbank and take a look at the river. Then, I mean, it's much kind of almost like to zoom in out, so that you have a bigger picture and you could see that struggle. You could see that's not helping you any longer. You could see those things taking up your entire space, and you can see the beauty that finally you could free them, kind of throw them up, pack them up, throw them away, free up that space for yourself and for other greater things. Yeah. So I think that once we help people be able to see that, they'll be able to kind of it's not that difficult for them to do.
Wow. I think that's fantastic, because right now it feels like in society there's just so much trauma, whether it's childhood trauma or societal trauma or ancestral trauma. And it's true, it's hard to get out on your own. And I love that analogy that, if you're in a raging river, it's hard sometimes to get out. When you're on the riverbank, it doesn't seem that bad looking at the river. It's when you're in it, you can't see your way out. So I love that analogy that you gave. That is really helpful. What kind of advice would you have to people, struggling with trauma? Like, is there a tip that you could give them that could help them?
I think if somebody in the trauma, because they overly kind of occupied by the trauma, I think that I would say the first advice would be how you can find a channel to let those energies out. Mm-hmm. So this could be, if somebody know it, some professional, some a mental help, specialist, they should be able to help you to kind of open up a channel to letting those things out. And to me, I think a good coach, a real coach, in my opinion, is that somebody you could trust, and that because of that trust, that coach will really be able to create a space and channel to connect you back with your universe and letting those things out. So that's why I do what I'm passionate about, coaching nowadays, because I see that's a great channel and bridge for people to connect them back to their true self and letting out those whatever the energy or traumas in their life, so that all the energy could flow again and get to a peaceful state and balanced state.
Wow. I think so many of us, that's what we look for, is to be return to a state of peace. That's just so beautiful. How do you work with clients? Is it 1 hour meetings once a week? What's the typical way you work with people?
Usually I would say a plan for 6 months, because the transformation take over time. I typically will work with people, say first 6 months would be we'll meet again every week, because this is time period that you probably need the most to need that channel to release and need a space to vibrate. And that's a space that probably not something that you can get from your home or your own environment. But whenever each week you get to that coaching sessions, the coach is holding that space for you and having that channel open up for you, and you could do whatever, letting those kind of energies stuck inside you to letting them go. I would say that's the first stage, and then it's about kind of in that process, you also slowly would be able to realize your life purpose. What makes you tick? What you feel kind of you connected with? What kind of motivation that you may have? And I would say each of us in that kind of healing process would find that kind of connection, connecting back to our true self. So think about like a two sound fork and the same frequency, and they could vibrate, right? If you hit the one of them, the other one would vibrate. So imagine that if we, through that process, you can finally find your true self, which is the other sound fork, and now you can be in that in-phase state back with it again. So everything would be becoming much kind of like easier, kind of effortless. Those are kind of like the moment that you feel like those like enlightenment, those are kind of like energetic. You feel like, wow, I'm live again, because the other tuning fork apparently kind of give you that kind of like a echo back, and you feel that connection again, and you feel that life again. It's not like everything that you do continue to be a struggle and conflict. You are not fighting anymore. You are flowing. You are vibrating with your true self. So that's the ideal state. That's how I live, I would say.
Oh, wow. That's really inspirational, David, because I think so many of us get caught up in the day-to-day life and work and commitments and paying the bills, and we forget about feeling that energy, that vibration, that life purpose, and feeling, just that awesome state of I'm alive, that you were talking about.
Yeah.
And I think that at a certain point, so many people stop and go, wait a second, there's more to life. And I want to connect with that sense, that vibration of feeling alive and feeling joy and feeling peace. So it seems like, the trick is working with a coach like you who can help us navigate out of those stormy rivers, right? It seems like that's the key.
Of course, I would say lots of focus would be like that awareness, and that will help you to kind of like zoom out to see what's going on. And I've recently kind of gotten into quantum entanglement, so I'm not going to explain too much detail here, but it's kind of entanglement is kind of like our left hand and right hand. So if we turn our left hand, well, not necessarily our right hand will do the opposite way, but at least they will connect it. It's like in that whole state. So I think to me, it's sort of like the energy field and vibration and as a whole, and how they kind of connected. And that really boiled down to a lot about the relationship. How do we connect with ourselves? How do we connect with our family? How do we connect with the nature? How do we connect with the like a society and communities and the nature? So we'll be teaching kind of and follow some kind of practice of like how we connect with them. And if we each of us get to some kind of moment, like say euphoria moment, it's pretty, yeah. And then there's also some kind of very fearful, dreadful moment as well. And if you think about it, so when you're in those kind of two extreme state, you are actually in a like an entanglement state with something. And if you can step back and see clearly, then you know what to do.
Wow, what a great way to bring in quantum physics and kind of personal growth to combine those two. That's very cool. You're so different from many of the coaches we speak to because you're bringing in so many other elements. You're very unique, David. I'm really enjoying getting to know your approach. I'm wondering, do you have any final thoughts that you'd like to share with the viewers?
Well, one thing I really want to bring up here is about success. Of course, each of us probably have a different understanding of success. So as I grew up and my parents have set a lot of expectations, there are lots of like the social standard of what is a success. But nowadays I see it very plain, and so what I call like a glowing being. And if say we see everything in this universe is just simply a energy stop or energy entity, then we are nothing more than just a energy entity and an energy stop here. And the value of each energy stop is to shine, to help others. And that's what I call glowing effect. And to me, being successful it's not that say I have to achieve a lot, but it's about emitting that teeny bit light. That's enough to call a success. And I would say if we take a step back, zoom that out, and look at the whole universe, if each of us becoming a glowing being, and it's so beautiful that this such a glowing universe, that's something I have been working towards and becoming my life purpose. I don't know, I just kind of feel like that's what I mean to be coming to this world and be able to observe and have all these kind of realizations. And now my mission is more like I'll share this one with the entire world and bring the more peace and harmony to this planet and ultimately to this universe.
Wow. I love that. I love that you said, if you're glowing your light, even just a little bit of light, you're glowing your light, that's success. I love that because that's so aligned to Shine, right? The whole purpose of the platform is to allow people to shine their light, whether it's shining your light as a practitioner or people seeking help from practitioners so they can shine their light in their life. So I love that because we really link up in terms of helping and wanting to support people in shining their light to bring in love and peace and joy to the world and the universe.
Yes, so this really speaks to that quantum entanglement. So there's a reason that we connected today here, and because this is Shine dot, and this is really kind of really consistent with what I call like a glowing universe and glowing effect, and you see that it's perfect, right? So this kind of back to the beginning about I said that in the energy world, everything's meant to be perfect, so manifest and connect and vibrate, and the beautiful things will happen like today.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I love it. Wow. Well, if you resonated with what David shared today, please share with us in the comments and make sure to reach out to David. We will have his information in the description box on how you can reach him through Shine.Online. Make sure to reach out to him. Thank you so much, David, for meeting with us today. It was a genuine joy to hear what you do and what your passion is. I loved it.
Yes, same here, and I think that this is a perfect day for such message and connections.